If summer started tomorrow, would you actually feel confident taking off your shirt in public, in front of your friends, in front of strangers? Or would you start negotiating with yourself? I'll start on Monday. I need more time. It's too late. Whatever excuses you may throw at yourself. Because here's the truth. Summer is still far enough for you to completely transform your body. In fact, if you literally started today, you can realistically lose 30 pounds in the next 90 to 120 days. So in the next 3 to 4 months, you could look phenomenally in shape with six-pack abs at the beach this summer. And in today's video, I'm going to give you the exact blueprints to do so. Now, I've ran 6 marathons. I've done 3 bodybuilding shows, and I've competed in 2 high rocks competitions. And I've helped hundreds of busy, career-driven men with demanding jobs, wife, kids, busy lives drop 30 to 50 pounds, all without sacrificing their favorite foods or spending hours in the gym. And today, you'll get a simple step-by-step fat loss system that you can start immediately. We'll be covering 3 things. So the first thing will be the timeline and the math behind losing 30 pounds. The second thing will be the 4-step fat loss blueprint. And then thirdly, is a realistic weekly execution plan. So I'm not just going to tell you like what to do. I'm going to literally tell you exactly what to do, essentially. So before we start, if you want my free full fat loss system with a bunch of free courses, recipe cookbooks, PDFs, workout plans, and a community that supports you all along the way, you can join my free fat loss group in the description down below. It is completely free, and that's where I go deeper on everything we're talking about today as well. So let's start with step number 1. Understand the timeline, because the math never lies. Losing 30 pounds may sound extreme, but it's really not. It's predictable. 1 pound of fat has 3,500 calories. So if you were to run the numbers, 30 pounds equals 105,000 calories. Now, if you create a 750 to 1,000 calorie deficit every single day, you can lose around 1.5 all the way up to 2 pounds per week. Now, over the course of a month, that's 6 to 8 pounds lost in a month and 24 to 32 pounds lost in 4 months, right? So if you just simply break down your big goal into smaller bite-sized goals, it actually seems a lot more realistic. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, because they'll look at their current situation and they'll look at where they want to get to, right? Let's say you start at the bottom and you want to climb this massive mountain. That can be very overwhelming. It's like you're starting from down here and you're looking up here like, wow, how do I even start? Like, where do I even take the first step? Whereas if you just break this big goal into smaller bite-sized portions that you can just chew off one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time, it starts to become a lot more realistic. And here's the power of this. And we do this with our clients all the time. They come to us wanting to lose 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds. They don't know where to start. And so we literally tell them like, hey, for this specific week, we're just going to focus on this, right? And then boom, they lost 2 to 3 pounds in the first week. That's awesome, right? What does that do to you? It creates momentum. It creates motivation. You're like, wow, I just accomplished something. I just accomplished the goal. And no matter how big or how small the goal is, like, it's rewarding. And it creates this positive feedback loop that literally shows you that, hey, whatever I'm doing right now, it's working. No matter how big the goal was, no matter how small the goal was, it is literally working, because I can tell where I was last week to where I am now. There's some difference there. Maybe it was, yes, the weight, or maybe it was my eating habits. Maybe it was my energy levels. Maybe it was with my steps, with my workouts. I got slightly stronger, whatever it may be. And then guess what? The next week, you're going to feel motivated. You're going to be like, okay, you know what? This is working. Let me have another successful week, and then another successful week. And then before you know it, you've had a successful month. And then before you know it, you've had a successful quarter. And within that quarter of 3 to 4 months, you're down 30 pounds, right? From where you started to where you want to get to, you've accomplished it without any overwhelm, just with pure excitement. A bunch of dopamine behind you, a bunch of motivation behind you, because you've turned your big goal into a smaller goal. That is the power of setting realistic goals and not being too overwhelmed by the long-term vision. So going back to the example, you could lose 24 to 32 pounds in 4 months. And that means starting today, put you lean by summer. And research consistently shows 0.5 to 1% of your body weight lost per week is sustainable and also muscle preserving. I think a lot of people also have this issue, or they're a bit scared of like, oh, well, I don't want to lose fat too fast because I don't want to be losing muscle. But if you just generally lose around 0.5% to 1% of your body weight per week, that is very sustainable, and your risk of muscle loss will be very low, especially if you do it the right way with the right macros, right training program, right recovery, right sleep. Like, you should be absolutely good to go. But here is the problem. Most people don't fail because of physiology. They fail because of their behaviors, their environments. So let's move on to step number 2. Build a high satiety diet. The biggest mistake I see so many people make, especially busy men, is trying to diet with low volume foods. They'll look at bodybuilder diets, right? And they're known for eating chicken and rice, right? And not only does that sound very boring and bland, it's not actually that filling. And this may surprise you. Like, it's very not satiating. The chicken breast, yes, maybe kind of satiating, but rice, like, that digests so quickly in your stomach. It's literally just like empty calories. Like, you get a bunch of carbs, but you get no fiber, no micronutrients, no minerals, no vitamin. Like, you get nothing in rice apart from just a bunch of carbs. You know, if you're trying to bulk up and you have a hard time getting all the food down, then 100% rice will be your best friend. But if you're trying to lose body fat and you're constantly hungry and you're fighting hunger every single day, then get rid of the rice. Like, I never eat rice. I never really have most of my clients eat rice. Not because rice is bad for you, not because carbs are bad for you. No, we just simply replace the carbohydrates from rice with a different carb source. Like, we still have all of our clients eat carbs. I eat like up to 400 grams of carbs every single day, and I'm able to maintain six-pack abs year round. I'm highly active. I work out, I exercise, but we do not demonize carbs or any macronutrient for that matter. You need protein, you need carbs, you need fats, because they all serve a unique thing within your body. Carbs give you energy. They promote recovery. They give you pumps in a gym. They help you sleep better. They help you perform better, not just physically, but mentally too. They give you brain power. You need carbohydrates. So really quickly, if you're eating rice and you're always hungry, make this swap. Swap your white rice for russet potatoes. Your life will absolutely change, because you're going to be eating the same amount of calories, but you're going to get a lot more volume for the potato. And that's a prime example of literally switching your low calorie dense foods like rice for a low calorie dense food like potato. Even if you start adding some vegetables to that, I mean, oh my goodness, hunger on your fat loss journey will no longer be an issue. Oatmeal as well, another great one. High in fiber, very high in volume for not as many calories, right? Roasted potatoes, the way I make them really quickly while I'm on this topic, because I eat them every single day. I'll microwave them really quickly, because a lot of people think that like, oh, like rice is so convenient, I can eat this. But then when it comes to the potatoes, like, oh, I got to boil them, I got to bake them, I got to do all these things. Like, no. I would argue and say that potatoes are actually far easier and quicker to make than rice. For some reason, a lot of people still mess up making rice. But anyway, with your potato is you're going to measure out however much you want. I typically go for like 2 medium-sized potatoes, which turns out to be around 400 grams or so. I'll wash them, wrap them in paper towel, microwave them for 3 minutes exactly. Depending on how strong your microwave is, you may have to do longer, shorter. Just you want to get them nice and soft. You can eat them as is. Like, there you go. They're done, they're cooked, baked, ready to go. But if you want to take it the next step further, and if you have the extra time, put them on a stove. You don't need oils, just some spray if you want. I sometimes don't even use spray. Just put them on the stove, high heat, make sure it's high heat, and literally just like toast them for like 2 to 3 minutes until they're nice and crisp. That right there is absolutely delicious. Have that with some veggies on the side, some chicken breast, some of your favorite hot sauce that's low in calories. Like, oh my goodness, delicious. Anyway, tangent aside, the biggest mistake I see so many people make is trying to diet with low volume foods, right? So think of your olive oils, your peanut butters, your protein bars, your liquid calories. Those sneak up very quickly. And now these foods that I just listed, they are healthy. They are good for you in the right portions. Olive oil, great source of healthy fats, but the calories can rack up very quickly. Peanut butter, Not a good source of protein, great source of fat. But once again, very easy to overdo. Protein bars, yes, they're convenient, but not very satiating. And liquid calories, orange juices, sodas, just eliminate them altogether. Not worth your calories. And you can very easily blow 1,000 calories on these foods that I just listed and still be hungry. Why would you want to waste your calories on food that racks up the calories but gives you nothing in return? No satiety, no real energy, nothing. It's almost like spending $1,000 or $10,000 on something that gives you no value in return. It's just investing something in the stock market that goes to zero immediately. You're going to feel pretty crappy about yourself. You're like, that was a waste, right? But then we don't use the same analogy with our calories. Like, choose your calories wisely. I say this all the time, but like, we only have a finite amount of calories that we can utilize on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. And I see so many busy men splur it on useless, wasteless things. Yet they are so good with their finances. They budget everything. They have a sheet. They look at everything. But then when it comes to their calories and their nutrition, they don't even know how many calories they're consuming to begin with, right? But I guarantee you, if you are a successful businessman, career-driven man, and you work, and you look at your finances, if you apply those exact same behaviors and principles to your own health and nutrition specifically, you're going to be very successful. I can guarantee you that. Now, a 2016 Satiety Index and energy density research consistently shows that high volume and high fiber foods improve fullness and adherence. That should come to no surprise to anyone. So your diet should revolve around lean sources of protein, fruits, veggies, potatoes, oats, Greek yogurt, and lean meats. That is it. That is literally the Barbarian method. That is what we do inside of the Barbarian Squad, our online coaching program. And I've seen this firsthand, not just with myself, not just with my friends, but with my client, Jeff, as well. He lost 55 pounds without a gym. He was doing home workouts, but by simply shifting to high volume foods while keeping meals he enjoyed. No restriction, if anything, less restriction, just smarter swaps. He was literally eating more food, more volume of food, while losing more weight. Amazing. Win-win situation. You don't need to starve yourself. You just need to pick the right calories. Pick your calories wisely. Moving on to step 3. Train like an athlete and not a dieter. Most overweight men approach fat loss like it's some sort of punishment, like torture. Random cardio, sweating buckets, thinking that more sweat equals more fat loss, sweating for calories, and absolutely no structure. But resistance training, lifting weights, getting stronger, getting a pump in the gym is non-negotiable. A landmark study by Longland et al. Showed people dieting with resistance training preserved more muscle mass and lost more fat than simply just dieting alone or just doing dieting and cardio. And that's the mistake I made when I first got into fitness. I wanted to get lean. I wanted six-pack abs. So guess what I did? Yes, I focused on my diet. Yes, I focused on my cardio, but I did zero weightlifting. And guess what happened? Yes, I lost a bunch of weight, but there's a big difference between weight loss and fat loss, which means weight loss is losing fat and muscle, whereas fat loss implies that you're just losing fat with no muscle. Ideally, you want to be building muscle along the way as well. But if you're not working out, if you're not resistance training, you're putting yourself at a huge risk of muscle loss. And guess what happened to me? I ended up skinny fat, where I lost the weight, I lost some of the body fat, but I had no muscle to showcase. And why would you want to sculpt something? Why would you want to showcase something with nothing to unveil underneath? I was going to say a really inappropriate analogy, but I'm not going to do that. Right? Hopefully you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, like you want to showcase something, right? But if you have nothing to showcase, then why are you showcasing it? So make sure that as you're dieting, as you're losing the body fat, that you're going to be showcasing, at least to some extent, some type of muscle, some type of like chest separation, some type of visual abs, some type of bicep, tricep, shoulder development, right? Because Otherwise, you're going to end up looking like the Joker or Schmeagol from Lord of the Rings. Just this frail, skinny fat. Like, no one wants that. And it's not even that healthy either, right? It's like you want muscle mass. We all want that. Not just you, but like it's more attractive. You feel better. You're healthier. So don't skip out on the workouts. So your weekly structure should look like 3 to 5 lifting sessions. You could do as little as 2 if you want, but ideally up to 3, up to 5. Minimum 3, up to 5. On top of that too, steps, your daily cardio, 8 to 12,000 steps every single day. And then strict form of cardio, let's say zone 2, 2 to 4 cardio sessions. This is exactly how many of my Barbarian Swole clients drop 30 to 50 pounds while still getting stronger, hitting PRs in the gym, adding more weight, adding more reps, because fat loss isn't just about weight. It's about identity. You're rebuilding the athlete inside of you that maybe you once were back in high school, back in college, back when you used to be that Chad, and then you lost it all as soon as you graduated. And you blamed it on your slow metabolism, when in reality, your lifestyle just completely changed. You're more sedentary now. You have more responsibilities. You don't have as much time to be active, to go on walks. Like, look back on your activity level back in high school and college to where you are now. It's a completely night and day difference. Don't blame your metabolism. Blame your poor lifestyle choices. And sometimes, like, yes, like with more responsibility, with more working hours, it's difficult. But there's a system. There's a system and there's a way around it. Now, a quick pause here. If this video is helping you rethink fat loss, be sure to go subscribe right now, because I post weekly videos just like this showing busy men how to lose body fat without sacrificing their favorite foods, time, or family life. Now, moving on to step number 4, control your environment. This is the hidden secret and something that no one really talks about. Fat loss isn't about discipline. It's about friction, specifically creating less friction. So do this. Meal prep your proteins. If you want to take it a step further, meal prep your meals, like specific meals. I order my meals online from Icon Meals. I get a bunch of protein delivered straight to my house. I pop it in the fridge or the freezer. And whenever I'm hungry, I'll microwave my potatoes. I'll microwave some frozen veggies, add the Icon meal protein. Usually it's chicken breast that I order, add it on top, done in literally 5 minutes, and boom, I can eat. Meal ready to go. Saves me from having to cook, from doing the dishes, from having to grocery shop all the time. Very simple. Keep fruits visible. Don't hide it. Keep it visible, right? It's like we all have, hopefully, like in our kitchen, like you can put fruits in like a basket or something. When it's inside, it's in mind. And when it's in mind, you'll likely eat more fruits and get rid of all the candy bars or whatever else. So remove the trigger foods. If you have Pop-Tarts in your pantry and you look at them every single time you open up your pantry, you're likely going to be eating more Pop-Tarts. Whereas if you literally just remove the Pop-Tarts and you don't see them, you won't even think about them. And your chances of eating more Pop-Tarts are now much, much lower. So add friction to the foods that you don't want to eat and add less friction to the foods that you do want to eat more of, right? Another quick little thing here is walk after meals. Just 5 to 10 minutes helps aid in digestion, and you'll feel a lot better and you won't feel as bloated. And just a great habit to have. Racks up your daily steps as well, burns a couple extra calories. It's just a nice habit to have. And then on top of that, keep track of your steps. Have a Fitbit, Apple Watch, whatever you want to use. You can use your phone as well if you want, but keep track of it, right? If you ain't tracking, you are slacking. And if you want to sustainably burn calories in a way without having to do hours of cardio on the treadmill, just keep track of your daily steps. This is the most underrated fat burning habit that you can start implementing right away. Low impact, low fatigue, low everything, doesn't interfere with your workouts, your weight training sessions, and anyone can do it at any time. Try to fit it into either your morning routine, evening routine, lunch break, whenever. And then lastly, drink water before meals, because often we mistake hunger for dehydration, especially first thing in the morning. You may think you are starving first thing in the morning, but you are just dehydrated. So I guarantee you, if you just drink a ton of water before you even think about eating, you're going to realize that, hey, I actually wasn't even that hungry. I was just really thirsty. And it's going to save you subconsciously probably hundreds of extra calories all throughout the day by you just simply drinking more water. So have a water bottle on you at home, at work, when you're running errands. It'll completely change you. Now, research in behavioral nutrition consistently shows environments design dramatically improves adherence. And I learned this during my marathon prep and more specifically my bodybuilding prep. There were days my motivation was at an all-time low, zero. And you guys know this. I don't rely on motivation. I don't have anyone rely on motivation. I think it's a scam. I think it's stupid. I think it's childish. But habits, systems, these are things that become automatic. And once these are set in place, progress just continues on. No matter how you feel, no matter what your emotions are, behaviors and systems and habits, these are the key to long-term success. So here's your weekly execution plan. Here's what you can literally start doing starting either today or on Monday. Every single day, hit 8 to 12,000 steps daily. Aim for around 150 to 220 grams of protein. Ideally, stick within the 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight range. So if you weigh 200 pounds, eat at the very least 200 grams of protein. Helps you preserve muscle, helps you build muscle, helps you stay fuller for longer. No downsides to eating more protein to some extent, but most people underestimate or underdo their protein than overdo it. So I would rather see you overdo your protein than underdo it. Water before every single meal. Make a rule, 2 glasses of water before you even think about eating. Your chances of overeating are going to be much, much slimmer. And then especially after your meal, drink some more water. And then sleep. Focus on 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single night. So these are some things that you can do on a daily basis to start accelerating your fat loss journey. And now on a weekly basis, lift weights 2 to 4 days a week. Do cardio, maybe specific cardio sessions, 1 to 3 times per week. And then do 1 body weight weigh-in trend review, meaning that you should at the very least measure your progress through the number on the scale, like making sure that the weight is actually going down. So you can either weigh yourself every single day and then take the weekly average. So add all the numbers together, multiply or divide it by 7. That'll give you your weekly average. Take progress pictures too if you want. You may not see huge changes on a weekly basis, but definitely on a monthly basis, you can see some changes. And then make sure you track your workouts too. Like if you're getting stronger or not, you want to be adding more reps, more weight over time. And then maybe look at how your clothes are starting to fit, your energy levels, all these things. The more things you measure, the more ways you can win, right? And who doesn't want to be winning on multiple facets? I sure do, right? So that's why I measure a lot of things. And then on a monthly basis, expect to lose 6 to 8 pounds and adjust calories slightly if you hit a plateau. So if you're currently at a plateau, you stalled, simply reduce your calorie intake, right? And that's the power of tracking things. If you are not tracking, you don't know if you're making progress or not. And if you're not making progress, then you can make adjustments. But if you're not tracking certain things, you don't really know if what you're currently doing is working and where to make those adjustments, right? So track as much as you possibly can. Now, I guarantee you, if you follow this for the next 90 to 120 days, 30 pounds lost is very realistic. Now, most men don't regret starting too early. They regret waiting far too long because the real cost isn't just the weight that you're trying to lose. It's the confidence, the energy, the presence, the identity, right? Your kids, your family members don't remember your macros, but they do remember the father, the leader who used to play with them, the husband who felt confident, the man who led from the front as a true leader. And that transformation starts with one decision. And it can literally start today if you wanted to. So stop putting it off because the longer you wait, the longer it'll take, obviously. But I assume that you actually want to get to your results a lot quicker than not. Now, if you want help losing 30 to 50 pounds without sacrificing your favorite foods or doing hours of cardio, book a free consultation call with me down below. The link will be in the description. Let's build your summer transformation plan together. And I will see you in the next video.